Hey, everybody. 7:30 Sunday evening. Time for some more Gearhead Interactive Live Chat. I'm Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. And let's get going tonight. Who's on here ready to go? Pete's here with us. Looks like we've got several people on and ready to go. And, hey, actually, Facebook connected tonight, too. There's Kevin L. Kind of surprising after the way Facebook's kind of been acting up. But as always, we are live on two formats, both YouTube and Facebook. As you see me glancing back and forth between the different monitors, keeping up with comments. So I hope everybody had a great week. Hey, there's Kenny Peterson. Neil's here with us and ready to go. Lots of fun things to talk about tonight. Some cool stuff to check out. The auction pile is getting out of hand. We need to thin that down at least a little bit, hopefully. Hopefully we'll have enough people on to get rid of some of that stuff tonight. But anyway, hey, there's Waycamp. But anyhow, let's catch a little bit of housekeeping as always before we get too far into anything. Please double check the autocorrect before you hit send. If I can't make out your comment, I will skip it. I try to catch most of them, even though I do miss a few. But if I can't understand it, I have to skip it and keep moving. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, same thing last week. Last Wednesday or Thursday, I went over there to post something, and there were comments on the Nobody Show page. I can't see those on the Nobody Show Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, you need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page to comment, participate in the chat, participate in the auctions. Ron's here with us. Sanderson's on. Hubcap made it from Reno. So, trolls, we do occasionally get trolls on here. You guys do a great job of running them off. I ignore them since they're trying to screw up our chat. Super chats are super awesome, and we do have the supercharged super chat badge warmed up and ready to go. And as always, we are dealing with ads. It is YouTube's program, and they're going to run ads. There isn't much we can do about it. So, check out Lady at the Beer Store. Liked your shirt. Nice. All right. Kevin Brown's here with us. Jim made it. Real quick before I forget, shout out to Waycamp. Dad's here with us. Talked to Tractor Mike today. Said Waycamp was a huge help at the Finney County Tractor Pull this weekend. Did you put any of those videos up on the No Buddies page, Waycamp? I don't remember. Sean's here with us. Not yet. Okay. Got a picture of Tractor Mike, but have not put the videos up. Oh, while we're here, check out Tractor Mike's new ride. Pete buying cans. We're on the Nobody's page. We'll just do it real quick. Matt's got the Ford out. Car shows. Cream City Pete out shopping. Lots of cool stuff on there. Mark's VW collection. Kyle's posting Hot Wheels and toys. It's awesome. So if you guys are not on the Nobody's page on Facebook, get on there, jump on, join it, answer the questions. Andy or Zach will get you into the group. Jeff from Ottawa's here with us. That's right, Pete, 1,000 chats. We were nowhere close last week. I really thought we were like gaining ground. Last week we were nowhere close. We'll catch that here in just a minute. But be sure to check out the Nobody's page. It is definitely green. There is no doubt about it. It is a lot of green. But he did customize it. It is officially the Tractor Mike edition. So check that out on there if you've not been on the Nobody's page here lately. Jump on there, answer the questions, and your Zach will get you into the group. We've got 135 members on there right now, which is, to me, insane. Mike from Texas is here with us. There's Cream City Pete right there. While I take a drink, I'm going to give you guys a Hudson badge. We're going to talk about the Hudson badge here in a minute. But anyway, jump on the Nobody's page. All that cool stuff up on there. Waycamp hopefully will soon throw us up some videos from the Finney County Tractor Pull last night. Christine's here with us. But anyway, chat count. Because obviously YouTube looks at chat count. Oh, wrong notebook. That's just how many cars I bought lately. This notebook. Last week, which I thought we had a lot of chats, 600. I thought we were doing pretty good last week. We had 600. Week before that, we had 892. And then 512. So, yeah, I really thought last week, the way everybody was spelling things out, that we were going to really kill it in the chat count, and it was only 600. Yeah. That's what YouTube told me. Unless they're counting wrong, I don't know. Alan's here with us on Facebook. Michael Gladola's here. Glad you guys all made it. And anyway, this is kind of crazy. I was looking for the Hudson badge tonight as I was getting set up, and I'm digging around on my desk looking for the Hudson badge, dropping the Hudson badge. YouTube's using new math. That's possible. And looking for the Auburn badge. 600 sucks. That's right. And I kept digging badges out. This was all on the desk. That's right, Neil. They're never wrong. Michael Winter's here with us. Found an Essex badge. Found the 12-cylinder Packard badge. Found the Buick Limited badge. And I even found the McCulloch Superchargers badge. It was all piled up here under the monitor. Definitely, Sean. Hope he has safe travels. So I'll throw all this back under the computer here. Nate's here with us. All right. Anyway, guys, before we get too far into anything, real quickly, next week I'm planning on being on the road. So, hey, there's Chris. I will. I'm going to try to get on at some point in the 7 to 7:30 window if it works out. It's just going to kind of depend on how things are going next Sunday. So just kind of keep an eye on things. We'll try to jump on for a bit and see what's going on. Scott with us here on Facebook and see how things shake out. So like I said, next Sunday, I do plan on being on the road, and we will try to jump on for a bit from where we're at that point in this window of time and try to catch up, at least for a little bit, and let you guys know what's going on. So what that means, raffle giveaway, the Sinclair pump plate, we'll give that away in 2 weeks when I get back. We were going to do it next weekend. We will do it in 2 weeks when I get back, as well as announce the next raffle. Hey, Wake Up's back tonight. That's right, Neil. So next week, just kind of keep an eye on things. 2 weeks from now, we will do the raffle and announce the new one. And then I think, based on the feedback, we never got anything put up on the Nobody's page for an actual quote-unquote survey. But I think we'll just go back to 7 o'clock because that's Motormark's here. Seems to be the general consensus is to just go back to 7 and roll with it and try to get things wrapped up a little quicker. That way, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Of course, that's still 7 o'clock California time, which I know is a little early, but we had Kenny and a few other guys chimed in that they'll just kind of work around whatever. So, okay, Kevin, that sounds perfectly acceptable. So since that's kind of what everybody is saying, videos are up on the Nobody's page of the tractor pull. Thanks, Waycamp. Go check out Tractor Mike's buddies pulling last night at the Finney County Fair. Tractor Mike was there, and all of his tractor buddies out there, like Waycamp and a bunch of other guys were out there. Tractor Mike's cousins, they were running. They had tractors all over the place. So appreciate that, Waycamp. You guys can jump on over to the Nobody's page and check those out. So I think based on feedback, we will start at 7 and see how it goes. That's what we used to do, and it just got to the point where it just got tight on time. So with that, just like I mentioned, bear with me. Tractor Mike had 12 tractors there. which is like 0.5% of his tractors. But like I said, 7 o'clock is usually running me pretty tight. So if it's 7:03, bear with me, because that's why we backed it up. But obviously, I understand you guys want to be done at a decent time because we all got to go to work on Monday, and so we'll start with go back to the 7 o'clock start time. Just bear with me if we're a minute or two late when we kick it off and get things rolling. So we'll see how that works. We'll see what everybody thinks, and we'll go from there. That's right. He told me that the Fordson Major diesel that we have it on a video. I found it at an estate sale. I bought 2 pickups there. I bought a 66 F250 and a 69 or 70 C30 with a 292 in it. Yeah, 69 or 70 1-ton Chevy with a 6-cylinder 292 in it. Oh, and they put aftermarket air on it too. So not only do you have a 6-cylinder and a 1-ton, they put aftermarket air on it to make sure it had no power. But anyway, that's beside the point. But there is a video on the Fordson Major diesel. Tractor Mike got it running and took it to the tractor pull last night. But anyway, one other thing I wanted to touch on, episode number 320. Like we've been talking about, Tim usually reminds us. I haven't seen Tim on tonight. Now, Kevin, that isn't fair. I mean, I can go with random words, but when you start talking about ice cream, that isn't fair. That's not a random word. Now we're all going to want ice cream. Hey, there's Buick Man. So that's why you did it, I know. But so anyhow, episode number 320. Talking about engine sizes. That ring a bell for any of you guys? It did for me. Curious if any of you, if 320 cubic inches rings a bell for any of you guys. I don't see any comments as we anxiously await an answer. Pontiac, no. See, now we're all going off on ice cream, and I don't have any ice cream. I ran out. I actually finished. I usually keep a carton in the freezer, and I finish it off, I think, Friday night, so I don't even have any ice cream. So this actually isn't even fair. So, so nobody's coming up with what the 320 is. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I guess we'll have a Hudson badge while we all think about it. All right. I guess we have to tell you. That's right. Ron got it. It is the big Buick Straight 8. The Roadmaster engine was a 320. The Super and the Special used a smaller. I was wondering that. That's kind of what I was thinking. Let me see if I sit forward here. Yeah, there it's cleared up. The camera must have just not got me when I leaned back too far. Scott got Buick. No, not Packard. And Packard may have used one. The one I was thinking of was the big Buick Straight 8. The Roadmaster engine, which was also used in the Centuries, but obviously primarily Roadmaster up until 52, prior to Super and Roadmaster going to the 322 Nailhead V8 in 53. So, yeah, I think I just leaned back too far. That's all I'm guessing, because I was literally getting ready to ask you guys if I looked fuzzy, because it was kind of looking like that in my screen. I think I just got back here just kind of at the wrong angle and out of focus, and the camera didn't follow me right. So, anyway. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. But the 320, John Anderson here, was the big straight 8. Now, 52 was the last year of the big straight 8, obviously, when they went to, yep, Joe got it, when they went to the Nailhead in 53. What was different about the 52 320? The 52 320 was kind of a unique bird. There was something very specific to the 52 320. I'm curious if anybody knows this real quick. We won't spend a lot of time on it, but I am curious to see if anybody knows. I know, this ice cream stuff, yeah. Way to go, Kevin. You got everybody completely off course now. Now all we want's ice cream. We don't even care about cars right now. It's like we're all talking about ice cream. Why are we here? Hey, David D's here with us. Where's the ice cream at, actually? We're all completely off course. Auburn badge. Just posting to reach 1,001. Well, we thank you, Jim. Let's see if we can, well, at least got to break 600 from last week. Dad's got a 48 Roadmaster that would have a 320. His 51 Roadmaster convertible would also have a 320. Those should both be 320 VA or 320 straight 8s. But nobody knows what was unique about the 52 Roadmaster 320, huh? I'm not getting any answers, so I'm assuming that we've stumped everyone. We'll give it a few more seconds. Hey, there's Brian Dispatch. Glad you made it tonight, Brian. In 52, Buick actually went to a 4-barrel on the straight 8. So the last year, it was a 52 320 with a 4-barrel. Jim started at the Buick Foundry in 63. Holy cow. Wow, that's crazy. So kind of a unique deal. That's why I thought we'd bring it up. Since we're trying to catch different engines related to our numbers, and obviously being, growing up on Buicks, that one kind of hit home. So, all right, you got you a sandwich. That's good. Except now we're all going to want sandwiches. But anyway, it's all good. I bet not. Those foundries are always dirty. Okay. Let's keep moving on. Like I said, we've got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about tonight. Could be an ice cream sandwich. That's right. That's probably what he has. 1,000. That's right. That's where we're headed. Got a badge ready tonight. Got a sales brochure. Got an interesting cap. Got a can. This auction pile is out of hand. We'll see if we get time, how we're doing on people, on whether we get into some auction stuff. But man, we got a lot of stuff piled up here. I bet so, Upcap. So anyhow, I know what I'm going to show you guys next. We haven't done them in a while, and we kind of got through the first couple boxes, but let's whittle it. It's actually getting ridiculous. I showed you guys the box of toys last week, and I was just working around the shop, and I grabbed a cap here, grabbed a cap there, started washing those up today. So now I got a pile of caps in. Hey, there's Bodine. World War II stuff. That's right, Joe. I do have some cool stuff there, depending on what direction we decide to go tonight on that. But new inventory. I did not pick up any cars. You do that, Sean. You do that well. I didn't pick up any cars this week. We did go out to where Weston had his last online auction. We bought some stuff out there. So Dad bought a bunch of parts. I bought an interesting set of wheels at Weston's last auction that I think are pretty unique. I have no idea if there's any demand for them. Huh. But they are it's a steel wheel, but it's got this like rubber insert in it. I can't remember what they called them. And it is specific to 71 and 72 Olds 88. It was a factory custom sport type wheel, only available on 71 and 72 88s. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But on the way back from the auction, another guy that I know called me and said, "Hey, I'm working on reorganizing this building. You need to come buy the rest of these license plates." So I have a ton more license plates, a handful of which have already made it into this pile right here, right beside me. Now, there are some familiar years that we have been seeing in some of these other ones, but there are some different ones as well. So it's going to be fun again. So you guys will be curious to check out these wheels. And obviously, we're going to start seeing license plates, some different license plates pop up as soon as well. But something else I want to share with you we haven't done in a few weeks. License plates equals money out of Pete's pocket. Well, I know there's a lot of money out of my pocket right now, so I need to sell some of them and get some of it back. Mountain Dew extra caffeine, yeah. Well, guys, we haven't looked at any of these in a few weeks. If you'll remember, hey, there's Big Rig Brett. Still need a 57 plate. I know I didn't grab any of those in the handful today. I haven't even barely scratched the surface on this pile. But we've seen this Tootsie motor set. And we've seen the Playtime by Tootsie. And tonight, we're going to get another one out, another box. However, it's not the last box. I have 4 boxes of Tootsies. This one, Hudson badge, are the Tootsie Toy aeroplanes. Now, these are believed to be like 30s is what these were marked when I bought them. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't check it, but that's what it's marked. So let's bust it open and take a peek at the first one. Now, these have been played with. They're not quite as nice as some of the other stuff, but they're still pretty cool. So we'll just start in this front corner. With the Super Mainliner. Another Tootsie Toy, the Super Mainliner. United. This would have been an airliner back in the day. Check this thing out. 4-engine. United. It does have landing gear wheels on the bottom. It has propellers that spin. And on the bottom, Super Mainliner, another Tootsie Toy. Neat plane. So this one does have some scuffs and scratches. It was played with. But, I mean, all the propellers are intact. All the wheels are still intact. This is actually 4-engine, though. This would have been a much bigger airplane than the Twin Beach I've got at the yard. The plane, the plane. So there's the first one. We've got 6 airplanes to catch over the upcoming weeks, but we hadn't gotten into these other boxes of Tootsies, so I definitely wanted to get started on them and start sharing these with you. So, more coming as we start working through another box of Tootsies, the aeroplanes. Tonight's badge, I don't know a lot about this thing. It's just round. But on the other side, it's pretty cool. I don't know if this was like an inside badge or what it was. Mark's here with us. Yeah, the truck showed 109 earlier today here. But when we flip this badge around, it says V8, the Cadillac Motor Car Company. Now, I don't know a lot about this badge. It's not like our typical enamel badge. Obviously, as you saw on the back, it's just kind of flat and round. But it does have V8 Cadillac Motor Car Company on it. And it is 2 7/8, just under 3 inches in diameter. So like I said, unfortunately, I don't know a lot about it, but it is a good-looking piece. So I knew you guys would enjoy taking a few minutes and checking this one out too. He probably got a kick out of the Tootsies then, Sean. We got a lot of airplane stuff around here. Lots of airplane stuff. Oh, man, I've been doing pretty good today. I don't know what my problem is tonight. But one other thing I want to catch, and I don't know a lot about this. I sent it to Hubcap Robert when I bought it. 31 radiator badge? Huh. Could be. Oh, I bet you're right. It goes in. It has an ornament that holds it. That's what it is. It's got like a pot metal deal that holds it up on the radiator. That would make sense, Mark. But it's not for sale, which you probably figured. But we can't have an Auburn badge. We got kind of a different cap. I want to catch the cap, and then we'll see what direction we want to go next. If we want to do, what all do we have? Oh, brochures, auctions, etc., etc. Oh, can. We got a funky, kind of a weird can. 32 trunk badge. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cool, so I bought it. This next piece we've got for a cap for tonight, on top of the fact there's a pile of caps in the auction box. This is not one of them. Just see if I was heat stroked. Yeah. This is actually an aftermarket cap. Hubcap Robert said these are fairly desirable. I didn't have any. I thought it was neat. I found it at the Lawrence Swap Meet from one of our friends there. So I was kind of cool or kind of excited about getting it. And I think it's probably a keeper. It's a full size. Check this thing out, guys. Full-size stainless stamped cap. You can see on the backside where this is all stamped in it. And really pretty well detailed. Looks like it's probably a 14-inch. And like I said, it's been a while since I sent this to Hubcap Robert, but it's a Lions aftermarket. And I guess there's a pretty good following for these. Like I said, I don't know these things near as well as Hubcap Robert does, but I thought, man, that's a cool looking piece. I don't have one. I probably should have one. So now I have one. And now we're here talking about it, sharing it with you guys. So, like I said, there are a lot of hearts going for it. I'm taking that as a good sign that you guys are digging it. But that's what Hubcap Robert was telling me, is it is a fairly popular original aftermarket cap. And, we've sold some of the aftermarket caps where it looks like hieroglyphics on it as they're trying to make the name out, all kinds of different ways that they would try to make aftermarket caps look like an OE type cap. This Lion cap basically is just very well detailed and very well done, and said, hey, kind of like, this is our deal. These are quality caps, a lot of attention to detail, colors. Cap would hold a ton of ice cream. This thing is deep. It would hold a ton of ice cream. And I'm guessing that's probably what makes these caps still desirable, is they're really a nice looking cap, even though it was aftermarket. It was well detailed and a good looking piece. So I've been wanting to get that on so you guys could check it out. Had that laying here all since Lawrence Swap Meet, kept me, and I got to get that worked in. I just hadn't done it yet. But finally got it squeezed in. So anyway, what else do you guys want to do next? We got a brochure. We've got cans. We got fun stuff on the agenda. It kind of looks Dodge-ish. It does kind of to a certain extent. But, I mean, this with the Knight's head and this crest, obviously, was made to pretty much not emulate anything. But I could see where, at first glance, you could think Dodge-ish. Oh, man. DeSoto, I could see where somebody could probably think that too. Because a lot of times that stuff was, different and not as common. So, and that's the thing, when you have something that is this detailed and the stamping is this clean and the color is added to it, it really makes you want to think it is a factory piece. So you would think, what is something we don't think about or see very often? Because this is really a nice quality cap that is not trying to fake anything out there. So some of those brands that were, not quite as popular, I could very easily see, people are thinking we'll go that direction because it's such a good quality looking piece. Or a hat. It's almost like a sombrero. Pretty close to it. All right. Let me put this stuff back away. And then let's figure out what we want to do next. Flatten out and make a pizza pan? I don't think that would be a very good idea. I got your message, Wickman. I haven't had time to look. I think it's four-wheel drive, but I needed to double check that. So, does anybody want to see new license plates? Just asking. If not, we can go off on some other stuff. We got hearts going for something. Sean's ready. Okay, you guys want to get into some auction stuff? Plates, hearts. Well, let's go ahead and roll with it if you guys are ready. We've got, let me move the brochure and the can out of the way and get my auction log here. And as always, Wake Up's ready to go. Brian's definitely ready for some plates. Like I said, I just kind of went through and looked for different colors today. Some of them are the same colors as some of the ones we've had. Some of them aren't. So we've got, thanks, Mark, because I'm out of ice cream. But not only do we have the plates, we got that huge box of toys, caps, cans. There's piles I can't even see in some of these boxes because the piles are so big. But anyway, we'll talk about a piece. We'll show it to you. We'll talk about that car. We'll give you some dimensions. As we're talking about it, if you're interested in it, throw a bid up out there so at least I know we've got some interest in it so we can go ahead and get the auction started. We'll go 90 seconds. I'll tell you when 30 seconds has passed. I'll tell you when 60 seconds has passed. And when my phone gets to 130 on the timer, right here as I'm watching it, I will announce the winner based on what I see on my screen. Shipping is included in the 48 states unless otherwise noted. If you just buy one or two little small things, I will wait until you have a handful of things to try to ship them just because of what shipping costs anymore. But so just bear that in mind. If you just have one or two small things, it probably won't be coming right away. If you have 5 or 6 things, I'll get it out right away. But like I said, we've got a really wide selection of stuff. And I agree 100%, Pete. This is all Kevin's fault. All this ice cream stuff is Kevin's fault. He's helping us with the chat count like he was going to do, but did you really have to go with ice cream? Seriously. So anyway, guys, like I said, it's getting kind of crazy. All right, glad I made it, Sean. You guys had a lot of cool stuff piled in there. Chris just had a Neapolitan. See, this ice cream thing's getting out of hand because I don't have any. And I can't go get any. So I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here with you guys, which is all right. Jesse's on mint chocolate chip. That's one I can never get into. I couldn't do the mint chocolate chip thing. That's one thing I could never get into. So anyway, all right, guys, we're ready? Let's go ahead and roll with it. Fresh berries over vanilla. Now, that does sound good. Butter pecan, I'm okay with that. Not my favorite. But thanks, Kevin. Yeah, I really appreciate this. throwing everything completely out of whack now. I do not blame you, Hubcap. All right, well, let's go ahead and get, let me move some stuff, because I have a pile. Oh, and you guys might want to go ahead, and it'd be a good time to hit refresh on your formats, get caught up. Uber Eats some ice cream. I don't think we got Uber Eats around here. A&W root beer floats. So might be a good time to go ahead and hit refresh while I move the mounting. DQ dilly bars, that's never a bad plan. Okay. All right. Are we ready, guys? So let's go ahead and get things started off tonight with where'd that come from? Let's start off with this. Go 60 seconds. We're going to start with a flash auction on a brand new license plate, fresh out of the new batch I just got. It's right here. This plate, we're going 60 seconds on whatever is in this package. 20 with Sean. We're really going to kick things off right out of the gate. Kenny at 15. I got Sean at 20. We're ticking along. We're going 60 seconds on a flash auction to start off with. Then we'll worry about figuring the rest of it out. 60 seconds. Here we go. We are halfway through. I've got Sean at 20 on the very first license plate on the new batch. 36 with Michael Gogola on Facebook. I've got 36 with Michael on whatever is in this package. It is brand new. That's all I can tell you right now. 25 with Ron. I got 36 with Michael on Facebook still. We're ticking away. We're coming out of the end. You guys got to jump over ahead of 36 with Michael. We're coming about ready to wrap it up. Michael at 36 and boom, that does it. Michael at 36. Michael Glagola on Facebook at 36. Right out of the gate on the very first plate out of the new batch. Michael even threw a 38 out there to cover himself, but nobody caught you on YouTube. So are we going to open it, Michael, or not? Let's see what Michael says. It's up to him. Open it, he says. All right, here we go. $19.65. Literally has probably never been out of the envelope. Congrats, Michael. Let's put this one back away for you. Nice piece. Way to start things out. Okay. Let's kind of get back in a normal groove. We did some of these before. Let's do another batch, kind of slow things down a little bit, get everybody kind of in the groove here. Let's do another batch of Mechanics Illustrated. Now I only have 12,967 license plates. That could be very true. I don't think I got quite that many. Mechanics Illustrated from October of '69. Tom McHale sorts out those mini cars by GM and tells you what's really new in the 1970 cars. What does it have to say about the 19... Holy cow. I am not sure what this is. It's a Volkswagen ad, but it's got a Camaro in it. Whoa, hold up. Sean, hit us up with a first supercharged super chat of the night. Boom. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate that. Getting things rolling on the super chats tonight. This is a Volkswagen certified used car ad with a 69 Camaro painted up like a flower car. I had never seen that. I was like, what in the world is that? We're looking for the new 1970s cars. 1970 cars, excuse me. 70 Coronet. Glad you like it, Michael. It's a good looking piece. Hey, whoa, hold up. Another one coming in from Michael Gagola. Stars on Facebook. Boom. Supercharged Superstars from Michael on Facebook. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, Tom McCahill. What's really new in the 1970 cars? So like I said, we can spend all day in these things. December 69. A gearless transmission from GM, an add-on headlight alarm, service tips from Detroit. November 69, special attraction, all the 1970 cars in a full car almanac. This is actually pretty funny. Okay, we're going to look at this real quick. I don't want to spend a ton of time on these because I do want to sell them. But the full color auto almanac. Yep, I do remember that, Brian. And an ad on Roatans with the next page of cars. Oh, and then a double page of Budweiser right in the middle of it. Chevy pickup ad, as well as the GTO, the Electra, the Rebel. Sean starting us off at 20 on the batch of magazines. Kind of some cool stuff in here. These are all the 1970s. The CUDA. There's some good stuff in here. Maybe I should have looked at this before I showed it to you guys. Here's something interesting. Remember, we are talking about the new 1970 cars. What looks out of place here? Sure looks like a 69 Camaro to me, but 70 was a late introduction car. So they were still showing that. Check out this Ford pickup ad. Tons of great stuff in there. We've also got another issue that doesn't have a cover we're throwing in. You're getting all four of these. We've got Sean starting us off at 20. Any 70 Caprice. Look real quick here and see if it had 70 Caprice. Kevin saw it. Maybe you did see it. I didn't. I'm sure it talks about full-size Chevys, but I didn't see specifically a picture of a 70 Caprice. But anyway, I've got Sean at 20. We need to get this thing on the timer. And away we go. All four of them, 3 complete ones, 1 without a cover, on the Mechanics Illustrated. "30 seconds gone. Working towards that 1 minute mark. "1 minute gone." Kevin just had a 10 pop up, so that has to be super old. Sean at 20. Still got a little bit of time left, but it's starting to get short. I've got Sean at 20. Getting ready to wind it up, and Sean at 20. Oh, okay, Kevin, I'm with you. Yeah, we seem to have, I don't know if we've got that bad of a delay or what, so you guys might want to go ahead and hit refresh again here real quick before we get into the next piece. I got to do something I really don't want to do, but I'm going to do it anyway because I have to. Whoa, Kevin L coming in with another supercharged super chat. Boom. Thanks, Kevin L. Nice to see the supercharged super chats flowing in. Appreciate it, guys. All right. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to refresh, get squared back up, and be ready to go. I don't like doing this, but I have to do it. I told myself if I bought all those Tootsies, as some of them had to go. Yep, I have to sell a few more Tootsies. I don't like doing it, but I spent too much on the boxes. This is a little twin engine. Not quite as fancy as some of the other ones. It is missing one blade on this prop. This prop still has all three blades. It does say EAL on the wings. It is a little smaller one. Wingspan on this is about 4 inches. Fuselage is about 2 3/4. So it's a little smaller guy, but I told myself I had to let some of these other Tootsies go if I bought the boxes of them. So that's what we're going to do. Mixing them in with these other toys. Unless nobody bids on it, then I get to keep it. I don't see anybody bidding on it. That means I'm going to keep it. I don't see any bids coming in yet. So I'll give it a few more seconds, then I'll throw it back in the box with my other sort. Now, that's what I figured. You were down to about 3 seconds, and Kevin has to bid. Motor Mark has to bid. Everybody's got to bid now. All right, here we go. We're on the timer. We're live on the little green Tootsie airplane. 12 with Motor Mark. Yep, that's true, Pete. These were played with regularly. These were in the day. These were pretty fancy little toys. The spinning props. 30 seconds gone. 12 with Motor Mark. Better quit playing with this. It's kind of fun. 1 minute gone. Motor Mark at 12. See if that holds, or if somebody's got a 15 or a 16 or maybe even a 20 hiding out there. We're going to find out here shortly. Coming down to the end, about ready to wind her up. 12 with Motor Mark. 15 with Kevin L. I figured that was in there. And that got it done. 15 with Kevin L. For some reason, I figured there was a 15 hiding out there somewhere. Kevin L. at 15. I got a can here that I'm going to see if you guys are interested in it or not. If you're not, that's fine. But it was laying out there, and as I was cleaning up a corner of the shop, I was like, I'll hose this off and throw it in there, see if anybody likes it. It's not regular motor oil. It's linseed oil, but it's Kellogg's. So you don't want to mix it up with your breakfast cereal. It's a 1 gallon metal Kellogg's linseed oil. So I don't know if this is a can that you guys like. If it's not a big deal, like I said, I was cleaning out the corner. It was laying there. I was like, I'm going to rinse it off, see if there's any interest in it. If not, I'll throw it in a swap meet box or do something else with it. So this is just kind of one of those deals. If there's interest, you guys let me know. If not, we won't worry about it. I'm just curious to see what you guys think. Just like I said, don't mix it up with your Kellogg's breakfast cereal in the morning. Nobody into linseed cans? Give it a few more seconds in case there's something hung up. And we'll go ahead and put this in a different box for later on. We can auction it if somebody wants it, Chris. But if there's no interest in it, not a big deal. We haven't done any caps yet tonight, though. I know we got interest in caps. Although this is a more common one, but I've got some other cool ones tonight, too. So we'll go ahead and start with this one. For our Blue Oval fans, this is an early 60s era Ford cap. This is all stamped in here. It is a stainless cap. You can see how all this stamping is done on the back, the letters, the ridges. The inserts in the ridges were originally black. The letters were originally black. John Anderson, 15. So it's got a few dings and scratches, but nice and shiny. Good piece for the Ford fans. It is 9 5/8 in diameter. 9 5/8 on the Ford cap. John at 15 as we hit the timer. "30 seconds gone." Coming up on the 1 minute mark. John at 15. It's extremely shiny. Just past the 1 minute mark. John at 15 is all we got. No other Ford fans out there tonight, I guess. 25 with Sean. 25 with Big Job. Big Job's out there hiding. I had Sean first. We've got a few seconds left. Sean at 25. Big Job at 26. And that does it. Big Job got it in with about 2 seconds to spare. Big Job at 26. Hey, there's Andy, the Rusty Okies, with us too. Big Job out there hiding in the weeds. All right. How about a grease cap? We haven't done a grease cap in a bit. I think we've done something similar to this one in the past, but this one does have nice clear letters on it. From our friends at Essex. So this is all actually stamped into the aluminum. Internal threads like these all do. This one actually still has grease in it, believe it or not. But, I mean, the outside looks pretty good. The inside's just dirty. Hex head cap. Does have a scratch right across the S and the R in motors right here. But otherwise, the Essex is pretty clear. Typically, these would have been painted black behind the letters and really would have made the letters stand out a little better. But still a pretty decent looking cap considering it's 100 years old. Across the hex part, it is about 2 1/4 across the flat sides of the hex. And across the back, it's about 2 3/4 at the widest point where the round part is. So anyway, on the Essex grease cap, where's our grease cap fans at? And let's go ahead and get this one going on the timer. Our grease cap guys must not be here. There we go. Kevin L at 15. on the Essex cap. Just past the 30-second mark. Mark's got to go check his wall. One minute gone. We're ticking away. We're coming out of the end. Kevin going to sneak this one out of here at 15. 20 with Kenny Peterson, and that gets it done. Kenny snuck that in there literally like at 128. You couldn't have cut her much closer, Kenny, but you got it done. Kevin L at a 22, but it was too late. Kenny Peterson at 20. How about another piece out of the toy box? Mark had it. He was good. This one is a Hubley. Hubley, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, made in the USA. It is a Hubley, but it is, I believe, a repaint. Whoa, John Anderson coming in with another supercharged super chat. Boom. Thanks, John, for the super chat. Keeping things rolling with the super chats tonight. So, on the little Hubley, Suicide Door Lincoln Hubley. Early 60s era, I believe it is a repaint, from what I can tell. It does say Hubley on the bottom of it. Up on the roof. Does appear to be original tires and wheels, original axles, but I think it's been repainted is what I'm going to tell you. If it hasn't been, bonus, but I think it's been repainted. On the Hubley Lincoln. This is a little bit bigger than some of these other ones we've been doing. This one is about 6 inches long. So this one tip to tail is about 6 inches. I would imagine it probably did, Pete. Typically, you know, an area this big they would have painted, but I still think it's the car in general has been painted. Hey, Daniel's here with us, is what I'm guessing. Obviously, you can see the door handles here in the middle, the grill. It loosely resembles an early 60s era Lincoln from our friends at Hubley. So let's kick this one off, and away we go on the Hubley Lincoln. $12 with hubcap. $30 seconds gone. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Hubcap at 12 on the Hubley Lincoln. Getting close to the end. Hubcap going to sneak this one out of here at 12. $15 with Big Job. $15 with Michael. I had Michael actually first on my screen. They both came in at right with 2 seconds left, and I had Michael on my screen first. Ron at 18 after the fact. So technically, based on what I see, I had Michael first at 15. Because that's all I have to go on is how it pops up on my screen. So Michael at 15 is what I had. Oh. It was an extremely close one, yeah. I think it just, the system fed it that way because they all came at about the same time. How about a Hudson badge? And let's do whatever this is. Go, 60 seconds. 60 seconds on whatever this one is. $35 with Sean, $25 with Christine. Sean at 35 on this one. $30 seconds gone. Sean at 35. So everybody knows Sean's at 35. We'll see if somebody's going to have a 36 or a 38 out there hiding. Coming up here towards the end. $36 with Michael. Couple seconds left. There's the 36 with Michael. 42 with Sean. And that does it. 42 with Sean. That one did get a little close at the end. So I'm sure you're ready to open it because Sean usually wants to open them. Here we go. Gold and black. 68. Gold and black, Midway USA. It's fun pulling these things out, isn't it, guys? Better write it down. They are good looking plates, that's for sure. How about another cap? What's under this stuff here? We've done some of these in the past, but it's been a while since I found one, and this is original paint in the lettering. So I'm kind of cool with this one. Even though I know we've done some in the past, I still think some of you guys are going to like it. This is another old Nash cap, but it's original paint in the Nash letters. Now, this is probably early 50s. It's got some dings and dents. It's got some chrome loss over here on the edge, but it still has a nice shine to it. And this appears to be all original paint. We can see the scuffs and the scratches in it, but that's what helps tell the story. The back of this is a steel base with, you can see the chrome cap crimped over the edges. This cap is right at 10 inches in diameter on the Nash cap. So, good looking piece, nice display piece. Yeah, you couldn't quite shave in this one, but it still looks pretty darn decent. So anyway, let's get started on the Nash cap. And let's get this thing going. Well, I look at what we want to do next. Where's our Nash fans at? 10 with Kevin, 10 with Ron. $15 with Kevin L. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. $16 with Motor Mark. Taking away and coming out of the end. Motor Mark at 16. And that does it. Motor Mark at 16. Tyler had a 17. Kevin had an 18. They were all coming in right after the 130 mark. Missed them all by a few seconds. Motor Mark barely sneaks out of here with the Nash cap. There's so many toys in this box. I'm trying to keep stuff straight as to what goes with what. How about another Tootsie? This one is also a repaint. We did see this one in one of our other kits. However, this one has been painted. This is the Tootsie. I knew it said something on it. It actually says quarter ton M39 Army Jeep on this Tootsie. This is a little bit bigger Tootsie. Like I said, I'm going to tell you this has definitely been repainted. I'm sure it's a repaint. Hey, there's Andrew. But on the bottom, it does say Tootsie Toy Chicago down here, and it also says Army Jeep and quarter ton M38, I think, up here. This particular one is about 4 3/4, counting the front bumper. It's about 4 3/4. Windshield frame intact, steering wheel intact. So there again, it's a Tootsie. It's not anything real fancy, but it's not all busted up. It's just been repainted on the little Army Jeep. So Let's go ahead and go on the little Army Jeep Tootsie toy. Actually says Willie's. I think it says Willie's on the hood. It says something on the hood. I thought it said Willie's. 12 with hubcap. 11 with Michael. I got 12 with hubcap. Yeah, exactly. Never knew this thing coming at all. 12 with hubcap. One minute gone, 30 seconds left. About ready to wrap it up. Hubcap at 12. And that does it. Hubcap at 12. Big job out of 14, but it was at 133. I was watching close, and it just didn't make it. Hubcap came back at 15. Let's catch another plate, but this one you're going to know exactly what you're bidding on, because this one didn't have an envelope. However, it is brand new, and I hope it finds you regular. Go, 60 seconds. Regular, it's brand new. It just literally says regular. White, blue letters, never been attached, but I hope you're all staying regular. So 10 with Kevin L. It is a little different size. It is 10 inches. 28 with Christine by just under 3. 28 with Christine on the regular. 30 seconds gone. 30 seconds to go. Christine may have delivered the knockout punch. Few scuffs, a little bit of paint loss from years of storage. And 28 with Christine, and that does it. I kind of figured she may have delivered the knockout blow there, but 28 with Christine. All right, want to squeeze a couple more in, or do we want to catch the brochure and the can and a few of the other things we want to talk about tonight? What do you guys want? A few more? Kevin says do a few more. Pete's always saying more. All right, let's do some more digging here. I don't even know what's in that box. Oh, why don't we just sell this? This is a good looking can. I picked it up and I'm looking all the way around and I'm like, whoa, wow, that's cool. Horn button. I don't know. See what I got left for horn buttons. I got one kind of common horn button. What else? me see. This isn't a horn button, but it's kind of cool. We'll do it after this other piece. It's round, kind of like a horn button. But let's do this can. I picked this up, and we're looking all the way around it. Let's thin those boxes down. Okay. All right. This is a full new old stock quart. If I have to ship it, I'll have to drain it. If you're pickup, then obviously I'll leave it intact and full for you. Another one of these ribbed soup can looking cans. Nice colors. It is improved and approved from our friends at Skelly. Skelmatic automatic transmission fluid, improved, approved, Dexron type Skelmatic. This is a new old stock steel can. Bottom and top still intact. We can see the seam over here where it's crimped together. You can see these ridges are all stamped in the can. Original paint, great colors on the red, white, and blue Skelmatic automatic transmission fluid quart. Appreciate that, Pete. Hit the like button, everybody. Here we go. Michael, you can wake up. Time to go on the Skelmatic quart. $15 with Michael Winter. Just past the 30-second mark. Michael at 15. Michael Goal at 15. I got Michael Winter first at 15 on YouTube. I don't know if you're that behind on Facebook, Michael. You might want to hit refresh real quick. I've got Michael Winter at 15. One minute gone. 30 seconds left. Michael at 18 on Facebook. There we go. Michael Lagola at 18. Taken away, coming out of the wire, Michael Lagola at 18. And that will get her done. Michael at 18. Michael Glagola on Facebook. Hey, there's Eric. All right, we got a pretty cool badge coming up next. Now, this should have a ring on it. I do not have the ring on this one. I've got it with the ring. That's why I'm going to sell this one, even though I don't really want to sell this one. It is super cool. From our friends at Packard, the ship's wheel from a clipper. This is pop metal. It's not broken. These do have a ring that goes around them. This one does not have its ring. It is just the ship's wheel. But it is chrome-plated pop metal, and this one is not broken. These are super cool. And you don't see them very often. It is about 6 3/8 across the ship's handles. So I think this was probably the grill being over 6 inches. Would have had the ring around it and mounted up in the front of the grill of a Packard Clipper 55, 56-ish on the ship's wheel. So I think these are a great little badge, but I don't see any bids because this is one that I will put with my other one. Oh, 20 with Kevin L. I was literally getting ready to think I was going to get to throw this one back. Hey there, Steve. Just past the 30-second mark. Kevin at 20. One minute gone. It's a ship's wheel for like a Packard Clipper. That's why it literally looks like a ship's wheel, because that's what it's supposed to be. Trunk lid. It could. I think they did have one on the trunk as well. $20 with Kevin Allen. We're about ready to wrap this one up. And that's it. Going into Kevin L's box for 20. That's a killer piece for $20 for something you never see. Mark had a 25 in there, but it was too late. Yes, the small skellies, I do still have them. They were 15 a piece. These little skellies, I do still have these. If you want them, just add 15 a piece to your payment and tell me how many you want. And I think I've still got one laying out there for Hubcap with his receipt, so he's got more stuff to go with it now. But yes, these are 15 a piece. Just add however many you want to the order and tell me what you want. And like I said, this one I've already cleaned up. They will still need cleaned up. That's why they're still 15 a piece. Obviously, if I take the time to clean them and polish them, they're going to be more money. So, yes, I do still have these. Toys. I'm going to throw these out at you guys to see if there's any interest in them at all. Like I told you, I had about 5 or 6 boxes flats that I combined into this pile of the last 2 or 3 auctions of toys. And these were in here, and I have no idea if you guys have any interest in them or not. They're old Pinewood Derby projects. So if you're interested, awesome. If not, I understand. They're not my thing, but they're in these boxes. I'm going to share them with you. There's 2 of them in here. One that's just kind of a basic wedge, and the other one is somebody actually put quite a bit of work into. So this wedge one is basically a wedge. It was cut down at a wedge. They put number 7 stickers on it. They actually did put a little bit of weight into this body, but a pretty basic Pinewood Derby car. This other one, they actually put model car kit heads and headers on it. One side is broken. They actually cut out a passenger compartment, put a little seat in it. They put a 2 and a 1 on the back of it. So, and this is kind of different. They actually have these axles are actually in blocks on this particular one. So, I assume that was a Pinewood Derby car. It's kind of what it looks like, but it is different wheels and axles than this one. So, I have no idea if these are of any interest to you guys or not. There again, if not, I'll throw them in a different box and take them to a swap meet or something. But Tesla prototype, that could be a possibility as well, Brian. So Are we auctioning these? Do you guys care? Like I said, some of this stuff, I throw it out there because just because it isn't my cup of tea doesn't mean that some of you guys may not dig it. So, you tell me. I'm watching for your feedback as to whether or not you guys like these things or not. Whoa, David D coming in with another supercharged super chat. Boom. Thanks, David D, for hooking us up with a supercharged super chat. So I'm not seeing anything on the little soapbox or on the little Pinewood Derby cars. So I assume you guys aren't digging them either. So like I said, they're kind of neat. They're just not my cup of tea. So I thought I'd hold them up and see what you guys thought. But we will do another toy. Another one of these that I don't like to sell, but Hudson badge. I need to thin some of these down to pay for what I spent on those other ones. This is a great looking Tootsie. This is mostly original paint. It does have some chipping. It is the special, it says so right on it, Tootsie. This is a very cool, very elegant 50s style Tootsie sports car type coupe thing. This is another one that's about 5 3/4 long, and it's a great looking piece. In fact, I almost think I should keep it, but I can't. I bought too many others, but I can't put a reserve on it. Maybe I should put a reserve on it. $20. It's got to be worth $20. Because the more I like it, look at this, the more I like it. Starting back to work. Wow, that's great. Glad you're getting, that's awesome news, Brian. Glad that you're feeling good enough to get back to work. So we will see you hopefully next week, if not in 2 weeks. So where's our Tootsie buyers at? No Tootsie buyers. Okay. Michael at 10. But I said it's got to be 20 on this one. We'll start it if we get 20. Or I'll just keep it. That's awesome news, Brian. Glad you're feeling good. We'll give it a few more. Oh, geez. Kenny. All right. Kenny started at 21. Now we got to sell it. Sometimes I was hoping you guys did do it. This one, the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. Now I got to put it on the timer. Kenny Peterson at 21 on the blue Tootsie. Cool looking little coupe. We're on the timer. We're away. We're rolling away. Kenny at 21. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 22 with Eric Roseberry. We're ticking down. We're coming close to the end. I got 22 with Eric. And that does it. Eric at 22. Kenny at a 25, and it was 2 seconds too late. I was watching for you. I figured you were coming back on that, Kenny, and it just didn't make it. All right, guys. Let's catch one more plate, and then let's wrap it up. 60 seconds, go on whatever this is. You're getting whatever this is. 60 seconds on whatever's in this envelope. $20 with Michael Winter. $22 with Kenny Peterson. 30 seconds gone. 30 with David D. Coming out of the end, we're getting ready to wrap this one up. I've got David D at 30. 32 with Kenny Peterson. Michael at 18. I got 32 with Kenny Peterson. A couple seconds left. 33 with David D. And that does it. 33 with David D. Yep, that one got interesting. All right, David, are we opening it? Open. All right. Oh, another blue one. Hey, there's Glenn. 67 truck. 3350 1967 truck. I know we've had some 67s, but I don't think we've had 67 trucks before. Nice looking piece. Congratulations, David D. Congratulations to all of our winners. We'll slide that bag in until it gets to David's collection. All right, fun night at auctions tonight, guys. All right, let's get regrouped here. Let's have a Hudson badge. I bet KKOA was an oven. I did not make it this year. In fact, I don't think I went last year either. KKOA and Salina Custom Camps of America. That is a massive show, a couple thousand cars. I do try to hit it sometimes, but I didn't go this year, and I don't think we made it last year either. I think it's been 2 years since I was there. It was a fun auction tonight. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys all playing along and having a good time with us. A lot more cool plates to go through, too. So having a lot of fun with that, plus all these toys, caps. Like I said, just trying to mix it up and do different things. So anyway, we got a can, we got a brochure. We got a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and squeeze those in yet tonight. And in fact, we'll do the can and the brochure, then that will probably get us pretty close to being about ready to wind things down. Almost no rat rods this year. Huh, that's kind of weird. for as common as rat rods have become, you would think that you would have saw a lot of them. But let's check out a can. This is a really weird can. Tonight's can is kind of goofy, actually. Now, it's not uncommon for cans to have been cut up and used as patches back in the day. Some of them, some of them are well preserved because they were inside, and they could be taken down and re-rolled or relidded. My Husky can is actually a relid from. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it was flattened out, but somebody had cut the lid out of it. It was relidded. It is also not uncommon for people to actually flatten out an oil can and use it as like a patch for something. Sounds good, Glenn. Pay attention to the Nobody's page. Glenn's going to be getting some pictures up from KKOA on that page as well, it sounds like. So thanks, Glenn. But some cans in today's world are very rare, very valuable, very desirable. So those ones that were flattened out, people are trying to make them whole again. You can get new lids for them. You can re-roll them, recrimp the seams, etc., etc. This one, they didn't exactly do that to. This one was kind of weird. We got excited when we first saw this can. We got it at the Lincoln Swap Meet. When Addie and I saw it like on the back shelf of this guy's booth, we got really excited. But then we got over there and we looked at it, and they literally re-rolled the can around another can and then pop riveted together. Another supercharged super chat coming in from Kevin L. Yes, I am actually out of ice cream, so now I can go buy some more. Thanks, Kevin L. I appreciate that. Boom! Another supercharged super chat coming in from Kevin L. So, this is the first time I've ever seen anybody, quote unquote, repair a can by literally pop riveting it to another can. It appears as though this was a mobile can, and it was an actual metal can. We can see where the rivets are actually, bit right into the can. But like I said, we got pretty excited because these are tough to find and they're very valuable. If you can find them intact with the Sinclair with the dinosaurs on them. These are early Sinclair with the dino. So obviously it still has good color. It still looks good. You can see it's been cut short over at the top. Obviously it was cut back here or separated. But somebody found the skin. And like I said, these are pretty rare and pretty desirable and pretty valuable cans. So somebody still wanted to use it for a display piece, so it works. And like I said, it's not ideal, but excuse me. It's a great way if you wanted to have one and didn't want to pay. These are several $100s for a nice, clean original. So obviously, if you found the skin, pop rivet it to another can, and away you go. So, was kind of excited to add to the collection because it does look good. From a distance, it looks amazing. When you're looking at it from 10 feet away, you can't tell that the top's been trimmed up and cut. You can't tell that it's pop riveted to another can. You just see your dyno here, which is kind of exciting. Oh. They did, big job. That's why, like I said, when we saw it from 10 feet away, we really kind of got excited. Thought it was a real deal. Knew it wasn't going to be cheap, but they perfect. Glenn, after we get done, Jeff, definitely jump over to the No Buddies Facebook page. Check out some of Glenn's pictures from KKOA. When we seen it from 10 feet away, we were kind of excited, knowing that, okay, this may cost some money, but these are good cans. So then we got over there and saw what had happened. We actually passed on it first time around, but a little later in the day when people were starting to shut down, we were getting ready to wrap up. We stopped by the booth again to look at it, and the people that owned it, they were ready to clean some stuff out. We actually ended up buying. In fact, I think that's where the Wolf's Head 5-ports came from. I had a pair of Wolf's Head. We sold one of them to one of you guys. I think Michael got it too, and some other stuff. But they were ready to deal. So even though it was a real skin, but it isn't a complete intact original can, we still went ahead and scooped it up. And who knows, maybe one of these days we'll stumble onto a real deal original. But for the time being, we got one to sit on the shelf that looks the part. Not quite the whole part, but looks the part, especially from 10 or 20 feet away. So, Tony VW probably wouldn't have noticed it if they hadn't lined up the seam and the gap. That's true. Yeah, they could have. And the crazy part about it, they got really close. Because the seam is right here, and they pop riveted it right there. So literally, yeah, the seam is right here. So had they clocked it, literally that much more. What is that? Let's look. If they'd have clocked it about one more inch, they literally would have clocked it right onto the actual seam for this can. That's right, Big Job. We could redo it. So anyway, there's a can for the evening, a full dyno Sinclair. Sinclair has been doing a great job of marketing lately. I am seeing Sinclair stations pop up everywhere. And I don't know if in your guys' parts of the world, if you are seeing it as much as I am, but I am seeing Sinclair pop up all over, which I think is cool. So I thought it was kind of neat to see the kind of resurgence in Sinclair branding. And, they all have dinosaurs out in front. And you think about it, and Addie brought this up, what little kid doesn't want to go to the place where the dinosaurs are at? Perfect. Glenn's got a video up too. So I think the marketing that Sinclair is doing now and the branding. You're right. Yeah, find out the can underneath is worth a fortune. I don't think it is because it looks like a mobile can from the 60s based on that red and white that I can see. But you could be right. So Glenn said they got one in Salina. I mean, you think about it. I mean, if you had a convenience store, service station, gas station, I mean, what kid is not going to want to go to the place where the dinos are out front? It just makes sense. A new Sinclair on West Crawford and Salina. So, it's kind of funny the way Addie puts it. It's like, who cares if the cigs are $5 more a pack? The kids are screaming, we want to go to the place where the dinos are at. And she's right. I mean, it makes perfect sense. And there again, being a gas and oil collector, it is kind of cool to see the Sinclair stuff making that comeback with their branding. So there we have kind of a full dyno Sinclair. All right, let's catch a quick brochure, and then we'll wrap up tonight. Mark, my dad worked at a Sinclair starting in the 50s. Love the dinosaur. Hey, there's Tractor Mike. Tractor Mike made it tonight. Figured after your weekend, you'd be resting. Waycamp City got some stuff up from the tractor pull. Glad Tractor Mike made it. Hey, there's Austin. Did you run the Oliver last night, Tractor Mike? The Waycamp posted a video. It looked like you run the Oliver. Yes, Tractor Mike did make a pull on the 990 last night. 3-cylinder GM. Okay, let's catch a quick brochure. This is not out of the big brochure collection, but I think you guys are going to enjoy it just as much. We had the brochure from the Glen Prey 8/10 cord. Tonight we have the brochure from the Glen Prey Model 866 Auburn Speedster. And on the back, there it is. 122 South Elm, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, suburb of Tulsa. And inside, we've got all the specifics. Excellence, a new name for experience. All black and white, very simple, very understated inside. Now, what are we holding up? You actually had a full color postcard, as well as the specifications. There's more to Auburn than meets the eye. So, let's talk about a little of the details. Standard equipment. There goes the hearts. And some good comments. Yes, it is pretty cool. With all this information here, this is why I really wanted to kind of take a minute and go through this. Obviously, we've done a lot of videos on these cars. There is, Doug's got some in stock right now. We've talked about them. We've seen them. We've ridden in them. Let's learn a little bit more about the specifics. Now, this is in the mid-70s when they were building these cars, okay? So let's keep that in mind. Standard equipment, 460 Lincoln Continental engine. Automatic transmission, chrome-plated appointments, fully disappearing top, 4 functional stainless steel external exhaust headers, deluxe wheel covers, convertible top, choice of tan or black, dual exhaust, radio, AM/FM tape player, heater, backup light, turn indicators, golf bag door, seat belts, cigarette lighter, spotlights with external mirrors, windshield washers, full instrumentation including tack, chrome headlights, Auburn script tail light lenses. There goes lots of hearts and fireworks. Taking that as good news. Wind wings, defroster, disc brakes, fully carpeted interior and trunk, wide white wall tires, leather interior, power steering, tilt steering wheel, and side flying ladies, which are little emblems, basically. Optional equipment. Optional equipment included a tonneau cover for $195. Wire wheels, $1,600 option. This is in the mid-70s. Wire wheels were a $1,600 option. Cruise control, $200. Horns, $200. Musical horns, $200. Air conditioning, $850. Driving lights, $100. Specifications. Weight, 3,200 pounds. Wheelbase, 127 inches. Engine, single 4-barrel carburetor. Transmission, floor-mounted automatic. Axles, front independent suspension, rear limited slip differential. Wheels, ventilated, extra wide pressed steel. Brakes, Bendix disc in the front, Bendix drum in the rear. Coil springs all the way around. Body, 3 layers of hand-laid polyester. Frame of the box type, electrical system 12 volt. Headlamps, Lucas. Interior, leather. Color, customer's choice, hand-rubbed acrylic lacquer. Price, terms, and delivery. Anybody want to take a guess at the price? Unless you saw it. Maybe you saw it. Anybody have an idea what the base price was? If somebody tells me exactly, then I know you just seen it. And remember, we're in the mid-70s. Anybody know how much a new Lincoln was in the mid-70s? Since this was Lincoln drivetrain? $8,500. You're in the ballpark of a new Lincoln. It looked like, from what I could see, most new Lincolns were $5,000 to $7,000 for a new Lincoln. So you're in the ballpark of the new Lincoln price, Austin. Anybody have an idea of what a Glen Prairie Auburn Boattail Speedster cost? Base price, of course, not including wire wheels, air conditioning, etc., etc. No guesses, huh? $25,000. You're actually in the ballpark, Kevin. Kenny at 15. Kevin is in the ballpark at $25,000. Base price, $28,650. Big job, just a little on the other side at 33. $28,650. Base price, not counting air conditioning, not counting wire wheels. Didn't take much to push this too close to that 33,000 number. If you added air conditioning at $850, wire wheels at $1,600, that's $2,450. Cruise, the horns, that's another $400. So you're $2,850, $25. You could put about $2,700 or $2,800 worth of options on them, which would have put you right at about that 33,000, probably about 32,000 loaded up. Except for the fact you've got to remember a fully loaded Lincoln was about 7,000. So, yeah. I think that that 73 Imperial sunroof car, you guys remember that because we had the window sticker on that car. That thing was sunroof, which was a crazy expensive option, had the good stereo system. That car stickered for $9 something. So basically at 30 grand, you could buy 3 fully loaded Imperials, Lincolns, Cadillacs. You could buy 3 of them for what this car cost. So when you put that in 1970s money, that was a fortune. Terms were $5,000 deposit, balance on delivery. Delivery, 90 days. They said they would build your car in 90 days. $285,000 converted to today. Thanks, Austin. So, yeah, so there again, exotic money. Crazy exotic money. But there was nothing else out there that like it. That was like it. It had the classic styling for the day, and actually not terrible even by today's standards, of modern driving amenities. You had an independent front suspension. You had disc brakes. You had a positive traction rear end. You had a very basic 460 with a 4-barrel. Nothing exotic. Just like a modern car at that time with classic styling. And I don't know if you guys remember this or not. I believe we've talked about it at least with some of the videos on with Doug, that at that time they actually bought the name. Time to play the lottery. There you go. Big job. You know, they actually owned the Auburn name at that time. So these are recognized as a second generation car because when Glenn Prey bought the factory in 1960, he got the name with it. So they were technically and legally the Auburn Automobile Company, and they were producing Auburn automobiles branded as such. So these cars, as far as ACD is concerned, are considered a second generation car because they are technically Auburn's. So, and you can buy these cars today for 50, 60, 70. They had one at Mecum, Kansas City that hammered at 40 plus commission was 44 out the door. I don't think it was the best car out there, but it wasn't a bad car. But kind of an interesting brochure, and obviously for as much as we talk about these cars, for as many times as we've seen them in videos, I thought it was a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about them. So anyway, guys, we'll go ahead and get ready to wind things up. We're past 9:30, so no point in really tearing off into any other subjects tonight. Glad you guys enjoyed it. Thought it was something kind of different. I thought that brochure would be a lot of fun. But anyway, like I mentioned earlier, next week at this point, I do plan to be on the road. If it's possible, I will try to jump on while we're out on the road, at least for a little bit, say hi, and keep you guys posted as to what's going on. And then in 2 weeks, I think we'll be back here in 2 weeks. I don't even know what 2 weeks is, but we should be back here because we got to give away this pump plate. So make sure you're in. We did have some more entries in this week we did not get to. We'll get those through before we finish up the drawing. But anyway, with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. I know you guys got stuff to do. Yeah, we'll find out here shortly, Kevin. I don't think we did, but we'll find out. We'll keep working on it. I appreciate you guys' help in moving things forward because I know those numbers and those analytics are what YouTube looks at to make sure that people are enjoying your content. But we are going to have another Hudson badge and definitely need to have another Auburn badge after that. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Thanks, Big Job. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind comments and your guys' support. The Johnny Carson comments still floor me. I know we don't put together anything of any type of quality like that, but I do try to put something decent together. One big badge for tonight, says Austin. We can slide one of those in. Boom, there it is, the big Auburn badge. Since we did the Auburn brochure tonight, good idea. We'll slide that one up there as well, Austin. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying it and having fun with what we're doing, because that's why we do it. It's obviously not about me sitting here babbling into a webcam, that's for sure. But it's about you guys being here, your support, you guys hanging out, posting on the Nobody's page, being part of this group. Invite your friends over, have them come hang out with us, and we'll have some fun. With that, we'll see what Tuesday brings. We'll try to get something squeezed in for some Toy Tuesday. And then, like I said, next week we'll kind of play it by ear. Just keep an eye on your notifications because I don't know for sure what's going to happen or how it's going to shake out. But if we can jump on for a bit, we will sure try to. So with that, I hope everybody has a great week. Stay safe, stay cool. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us tonight. We'll see some of you possibly Tuesday night, and hopefully we'll see you next Sunday night for at least a little bit. But if not, we definitely sure to see you right back here in 2 weeks. And I know you'll be back in 2 weeks because we're giving that away and announcing the new raffle. And we'll see you all then. Same bat time, same bat station in 2 weeks. Next week might be a different bat station. It might be a different bat time, too. We'll see what happens. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for your support. Have a great week, and we will see you soon.